Hello everybody, it's the Swedish Traveler here. How you doing? How's it hanging? Um, in this video I'm gonna talk about my time in Romania. And I'm saying that because I went to 2 day trips in this part of the trip. Going to Bran Castle in just outside of Brasov, and then Peles Castle in Sinaia. Well, at this part of the trip, it got off with a really bad start. I made a video about that, but just a short context, I lost my phone and I had to pay to get it back. I lost it in the taxi. So yeah, that sucked, but that's how it is. But after that, the weather was nice. Kind of mixed in some cases too, but the weather was nice, very hot. And I'm gonna say this as well, all of the places were mostly hot. But Bucharest as a whole, it is a very interesting city. It was actually cheaper than I expected, in a sense. Since sushi, eating at least food were quite cheap, a little bit cheaper than expected, really. And buying water and other stuff as well were cheap too. And it does have a lot of stuff to see. They do have their own Arc de Triomphe, and a huge park close to it, with the own lake as well. If you have seen the video, comment below. I must say that I did enjoy it, but might not be the first priority to go back, even though I think I will go back someday, since at least I do have at least one more on my place in Romania on my bucket list, Sighisoara, which is and that's the thing too, I actually did plan on going there as well, but it was a 6-hour train ride, and there were only 2 trains, and the first one were 6 in the morning, and then 2 in the afternoon. So no. If I go back, I will probably head up to Brasov, stay there for a couple of days, and then go to Sighisoara after during that time. So yeah, and which leads me to my 2 places that I went to. First one were Bran Castle, which was on my bucket list. Well, Peles, both of them were on my bucket list. Bran and Peles Castles. Going to Brasov was over 3 hours by train, and then you have to walk up a couple of kilometers to a bus station, and then take the bus to Bran and Bran Castle. I must say that Bran Castle was a lot smaller than expected, really. It was quite cheap to go in there. Now that I think about it, it was like just under 100 Swedish kroners, which was decent, I must admit. But as I said, it was very small. You can probably walk around the whole castle in like 45 minutes. And the village itself, close to the castle, I must admit, were quite interesting, quite touristy, of course. they of course take advantage of people going to the castle, and was it worth it? A little bit, yeah, but I think that's the same thing with some other places as well. Well, I've been there, now I don't have to really go back. And going to the other place, Peles, which I must admit was quite different. And this one was just under 2 hours by train this time. It is on the same train pass to Brasov. It's the same train, but you stop earlier. And in a town called Sinaia. And Peles is actually bigger than Bran, and the whole setup is quite different too. You don't have to take another bus going to a village. Peles is within sorry about that. Peles is within the city limits of Sinaia, the city. So it took like the same amount of time for me to go from the train station to the bus station, to go from the train station to Peles. And there's a path at least going to from Peles, the train station to Peles. There's a nature walk that you could go up, which does have some tourist stands selling all kinds of stuff. Of course, they gotta sell all kinds of stuff, but it was quite nice just walking up, since it was a very hot day, and walking into the forest, having a little bit of cool down was totally amazing. And the castle itself, compared to Bran, it is bigger than Bran Castle, and since it's bigger, it costs a little bit more to explore everything. The whole setup with Peles, at least, was you can take the basic tour, just the ground floor, and then you can have the option to go to the first floor, and then I have the option to go on the second floor. And since I was there, I took everything. I went up to the second floor. And it took a little bit longer to explore everything, of course, since it's bigger. But it cost a little bit more, but it was worth it. And the whole experience by itself, I did have some, at least when I was in Bran, I had some local food. But otherwise, it was the same thing as I said in my Poland video. Since once I find a place, I'm going to that place. And sadly, I didn't try a lot of local food, sadly enough. But all in all, I think it's, as I said earlier in the video, it was nice while being there, but it isn't really my first priority to go back, so to speak. And if I have to choose between Bran and Peles, Peles is way better than Bran Castle. Because, as I said, Bran isn't really that big. So yeah, comment below what you think. You can like and subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, you can buy some merch in the merch shop down below. Otherwise, peace out.